What's up, guys? Today we're back again with another Marvel Contest of Champions upload, and today we're going to be ranking up the Golden Girl herself, Captain Marvel. So, real quick, just want to explain what is going on. So, I have one of these, and I've been holding on to it for a while, and I've been waiting for a champ to use it on because I also have another concern. I have 93 gemstones to put into whatever Cosmic Champion I awaken. And I also have 100 skill gemstones that I have to use on a champion. So I have to get rid of these stones sooner or later. And I think Marvel is the perfect champ for that. But just so you guys see my options, I know this might piss some of you off, but I have what some people would say a better option in Corvus Glaive here. So Corvus is a great champ, but don't get me wrong, he's probably one of the most powerful, well, not probably, he is one of the most powerful champions in the game, but I think I prefer Captain Marvel's playstyle a little bit better. And I'll go over that a little bit more in detail sooner in this video. So there is a level up event going on, so thought this was the perfect time to do that. I'm not going to wait for a cosmic rank up. I'll be fine, just open some crystals or something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and rank her up. I'm not going to let you guys sit through all of the ISO. It's boring, but I will start ranking her up, and I'll see you here in a bit. Okay, finally, that took a long time. She is now rank 4. I am nowhere near my goal to rank 5 her yet, so I need 6 more tier 4 class, 6 more tier 4 class catalysts for her, and then a bunch of tier 2, and then I'm almost at my second tier 5 alpha. But here she is. So let's do it. Well, first let's take a look. So at level 1, her duped ability. Alright, so she becomes indestructible for 6 seconds. And so when she has above 20 energy charges, she becomes indestructible for 6 seconds, and it resets after a 60-second cooldown. So that's pretty neat. And then the last little sentence there is that the indestructible buff and half of her energy charges are removed when struck by a special attack. So we'll test that out here shortly. But so 6 seconds and 60-second cooldown. Let's try to max that out. I think the one in the quest, the max 6-star and uncollected, was like 12 seconds with a 40-second cooldown, which 12 seconds of being indestructible is a very long time. So I'm excited to see that. Oh my gosh. This always takes a long time. Why? Why? Okay. I might just cut out until I have her all synced up. So, yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so I've used all the 6 stones that I'm going to right now. Some generic just to get her to a round number. So, real quick, I'm going to cover her abilities. So now, instead of 6 seconds, it is 11.42 seconds, almost double. I think it, like I said, maxes out at 12 with a 41-second cooldown. And let's just cover her basic abilities again. So she's a poison immune, which is really good, especially if you kind of want to run suicides. Combined with the fact when she goes into Super Saiyan mode and suicides, she's going to be hitting extremely hard. So that's always a plus. So super strength. Landing a hit or hitting into a block will basically cause a armor break debuff. Now, this doesn't really seem like much, like the 450, that's not much, but the fact that once she is in binary ignition mode, the chance increases, I believe, yeah, right here, to 60%. So, nearly every other hit, you're going to be putting on one of these debuffs. And then with Max Despair, if you put 7 of these debuffs on the opponent, they're heal blocked. So it's pretty neat. That's another hidden gem with Captain Marvel. Energy absorption, so she has to take blocked hits to get these charges, which kind of sucks, but she also has other ways to gain these charges. Also, a glaring weakness of hers is, as most people have probably discovered during the questing, is Mystic Champs can ruin her. So if you have this champ, you don't want to take her against Mystic Champions, because block damage, energy damage, they're just going to be racking up extra DPS on you. So you want to avoid Mystic Champions. But I feel like they gave her a weakness like that because she is such a powerful champion. So Binary Ignition, essentially at 10 charges, you can dash back and hold block for 1.2 seconds, start Binary Ignition, or you can wait till 25 charges, at which point it will automatically ignite Captain Marvel, giving her crazy damage. So think at 25 charges times a 1.2 seconds, that's total of 30 seconds. So 30 seconds of craziness, and then with her Nick Fury synergy, each charge has an additional second. It adds a second duration. So 25 plus 30, 55 seconds. So nearly a minute of going insane. Plus combined with her stuns, which I'll get into. So interrupting heavy attacks or hitting with her SP2 causes a stun. So getting those heavy attacks and then refreshing those heavy attacks extends her duration for being in Binary Ignition mode. So if you can play this champion correctly, she's going to be doing a lot of damage for a long time. She gets Fury buffs for every 5 charges that you have when you ignite. And yep, like I said, so landing heavy attacks gives you 3 more charges, which extends, well, with the Nick Fury synergy, extends your Binary Ignition by 2.2 seconds. So 6.5 seconds for every heavy. So it's pretty insane. And then you don't only have to take block damage to get her charges up. You can also keep spamming Special 1 until you get to the amount of charges that you want, then dash back, and then get into it. So you guys have probably seen all the other stuff, but we're going to get into some testing. Alright guys, so I just want to discuss a few things, or actually a few similarities that I think Captain Marvel and Corvus Glaive share. So to begin with, I'm comparing Corvus and Captain Marvel because I think that Corvus is widely considered amongst players in the game to be the best Cosmic Champion. So I just want to point out a few things. So to begin with, Captain Marvel has an indestructible buff that she can get at the beginning of a fight. After having a previous match, if she begins the next fight with 20 or more charges, she can have up to a 12-second indestructible buff. Now this is very similar to Corvus, because Corvus can end the fight when he's low on health and he has 20 charges, he can't die. So as opposed to having that sort of cheat death mechanic at the end of a fight, she has that at the beginning. Now this is particularly useful because if you go into a fight and you have a 12-second indestructible buff, and then you have all these Furies and all this damage, most likely at rank 5, Captain Marvel will be able to defeat any champion that she comes across within those 12 seconds. So I just think that's very useful, and then after she loses the charges, she can always build them back up for the next fight. So that's one similarity that they share. The next is that Captain Marvel is a lot more versatile when it comes to ramping up her damage output as opposed to Corvus. If Corvus has a path that does not have any tech champions or mutant champions or auto evade champions or auto block, then he's kind of SOL. He has to overcome it with maybe 1 or no charges, and he won't be nearly as effective. But with Captain Marvel, you go into any fight and you can accrue these energy charges and build up your damage against any character. Now, I will say that most likely after getting all 4 charges for Corvus, he probably is more consistent and can dispatch enemies a lot quicker, but Captain Marvel has the upper hand when it comes to dealing with multiple different lanes, things like that. So at the minimum, Corvus can fight maybe a Nightcrawler, and he evades, and he gets 2 charges, and then he fights an Iron Man or a Vision, and then he gets 2 charges as well. So at minimum, it takes Corvus 2 fights to ramp up. Captain Marvel can ramp up with 1 fight when played well. Lastly, I want to talk about their synergies. Now, both Corvus and Captain Marvel don't necessarily rely on their synergies. They have a few in particular that are very good for them. So for Corvus, it's obviously Proxima. That's his most important synergy. With Proxima, he gets that True Strike after an opponent evades, and it allows him to have a True Strike throughout the rest of the quest. And then with Captain Marvel, with Nick Fury, her energy charges, essentially their duration doubles, which can be insane. So she can enter a fight and then stay in binary ignition for as long as she needs to, and most likely before her charges expire, the enemy is well dead. So both these champions don't really rely on their synergies, but they both benefit from them greatly. I think that Kabam has drawn a lot of tangents between the 2 champions, whether on purpose or not, but I think it's something to consider when you have both champions available to rank up. So depending on your playstyle, you may like to go down certain lanes, or for Alliance Quest, or for Alliance War, and handle that with Corvus. Simple and easy, take them out, get those charges, or just have a quick build up in one fight, take some parries, and then hit some SP1s, and then you have your damage and indestructible. So I think that's very interesting. But both of the champions, in my opinion, are great. Alright, so very quickly, I wanted to cover something that I caught in editing that I didn't notice while testing. So if you notice here, Captain Marvel uses her SP2 just as her indestructible timer runs out. Then she uses 2 heavies, and then you notice once she was above 20, she regains that indestructible buff. I'll play it here again slowly so you guys can see it better. So she's under 20, she has him stunned, 19, 20, boom, indestructible buff. It's pretty cool, really cool. Alright, so I didn't play that too optimally, but you can see that she has some pretty good damage output, and that indestructible lasts for a pretty long time. So I find that very useful and very interesting. Corvus is a great champ as well, but I feel like in most cases, although Corvus is extremely powerful, Captain Marvel has a little bit more versatility when it comes to fighting different champions. So next I want to take you through some things that I thought she would be useful for during questing, like getting her ramp up and testing that indestructible and how useful it is throughout the quest. So let's find a decent path, and I only saw one. Oh, there's 2. Yeah, let's not go for that Juggernaut. Let's go for Blade instead. Get this health pot. Okay, I'm going to try to get as many charges as possible. Maybe push him to his SP2. That way I can block a lot of it. She has a decent block efficiency, so it shouldn't be too hard to get these charges up. Come on. There we go. I think the most important part of, oh my goodness, see, that's one of the drawbacks of her binary ignition, so, is the fact that sometimes when you're blocking too much, you can cause it to start when you don't want it to. But the good thing is, she gets to start the next fight with 2% of her power for each charge that she has at the moment that the last fight ended. So that's what her persistent charges are for, to show you how many charges she's had. And then in this fight, she'll start with 24% of her power since she had 12. But yeah, that's slightly annoying. I wish the block timer was like a little bit longer, but I have to get used to it. So let's try to get above 20. That way we can begin each fight with like a parry, and then go immediately indestructible and just wreck house. This is also a master mode quest, so it won't be too difficult. Come on. Taskmaster, please. There we go. There we go. Want to end this fight as closely as possible. There we go. And if I end the fight with 25, well, that was 24. If I ended the fight with 25, I would go immediately into the next fight with all my charges and start off indestructible. So I think that's pretty cool. I also wanted to do some testing against the boss on this map to test out her indestructible and how it works against SP3s, to see exactly how it works and interacts with special attacks. Now you're about to see Aegon get wrecked as soon as I block the first hit, and then just start beating them up. I already started off with a bunch of power because of all my charges, and then one SP2 and he's done. I didn't see how much health he had, but one combo and or two combos and it was daylights for him. I think he had like 35k health, which isn't too bad. The only downside to doing special attacks with her while in ignition is that she loses a bunch of charges. I'm sure I could have finished that fight with without using the SP2, but it's too flashy to ignore. So with 16, I think I should start with just above a bar of power. Pop the SP1. Oh, just under. Oh. Also, her dash back is centric. That's all I'll say about that. Getting extremely lucky here. I'm not gonna use the special attack this time. I want to keep as many charges as possible. There we go. That way I could begin as many fights as possible with that indestructible. Try not to take too much damage. I think that's really cool. Just keep going. Ah, crap. Sure. For the video, why not? Damn it. 30 units, man. Should have been prepared. Should have busted some free crystals. Oh. Gonna save my SP2 again. Just gonna punch her in the face. Then also her SP3, although it doesn't give you the 10 charges in her binary ignition mode, it does do a lot of damage when you're ignited. So here we go. So I have 24, and I should start the fight with 24 once again, since this didn't expend any charges. Animation is amazing, dude. Sparkles. The Golden Girl herself, man. She looks so cool. Alright. Just so you guys can see, I'm gonna bring her against the worst champion probably in the game. I won't say that, but a really bad champion in Diablo. Just to see how that block damage accrues, man. Or to see if it affects her at all with that indestructible. Whoa, what was that? He's just ass all around, dude. There we go. Alright, hit my block. Nope. So it doesn't affect her during her indestructible phase. which is to be expected, but I just wanted to see if there was a special interaction there. Once again, pretty simple. I guess that's one way to get around her weakness with Mystic Champions. Just go in with a bunch of charges and then go indestructible, man. Alright. So next, instead of using Captain Marvel and having a mirror match, I want to use Hyperion and Iceman to see how she handles SP3s while she's indestructible. Just to see how exactly the indestructible interacts with SP3s. Just kind of going to bide out time as much as possible, since Hyperion has a passive power gain, and give her, I should probably hit her block instead of her. But I want to survive. There we go. Alright. So, her indestructible's up. She has 5 Furies. Obviously, she's not taking damage, so she can take SP3s. And none of her, okay, so half of her charges went away after. Oh my god, that second one's hard to dodge, man. So that answers that question. So after special attack, it seemed like for a moment that they didn't fall off, but after a frame or two, her charges fell off. So after a lot of testing, I found that using Captain Marvel on my own, trying to find a champion that would give her a debuff is kind of difficult. So I'm going to use Void and try to passively place a debuff on her when she has her indestructible buff. She'll purify on the ones I have on her at the moment, but afterwards I wanted to see if she'll heal. So please cooperate. Keep using those SP1s. Come on. Oh. There we go. Oh my goodness. Ignore that. Need to charge my iPad. Come on. There we go. Oh, I got hit, but it's fine. Block. Will you please cooperate? Okay, there we go. Now just wait for the timer to go off. And yes, she does heal. So what that means is, in in-game content, if you go in to a fight and you activate her indestructible and you're affected by a passive degen or anything like that, while her indestructible is going on, you will only heal, or not passive degen, only active ones. So anything that will cause you damage, you could heal from it instead of being hurt. So I think that's pretty cool. Alright, so overall, I think Captain Marvel is a great champ. She has high prestige, she has high damage output, and she has a little wiggle room with that indestructible, so she can get around some degen nodes, some damaging debuffs, and I think it'll be very useful. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. If you think she's God tier champ, like maybe better than Corvus, maybe even, or not even close to Corvus's level. But you guys let me know. Take care.